All right, in the previous video, I show you how do you find the quartiles of a data set. And remember, quartiles are a measure of position, a summary of the data that we are comparing the position of the data in comparison with other data, okay, in the data set. So quartiles is one of those measures of position. And from these 17 numbers, I found the quartiles of these 17 numbers, these 17 test scores. Okay, quartile 1 is 71, quartile 2, which is really the median, 74, and quartile 3 is 79. In the previous video, I show you how I did that. Now, sometimes we need a picture to make sense of what the data is trying to let us know. We need a picture to identify any pattern, trend. And using quartiles, I can make a new graph called box and whiskers, which you can see it right here on your screen. What exactly is that graph? It's what the title is implying. Is the graph is made out of a box and whiskers. Now, I don't like too much this box and whisker that I did in Microsoft Excel because the whiskers here should be a little bit longer. Excel does something different. I'm going to give you more details in a second. Okay, so really I'm making a box and I'm going to draw whiskers out of each end of the box. That's basically what I'm doing. Here the orientation of the box is vertical. When you go to the homework in my stat lab, you're going to see it horizontal. Okay. And here's how you do this graph, box and whisker. You need something called the 5-number summary. Okay. And what exactly is that? The 5-number summary. You need 5 numbers that is summarizing the data. Okay. So what are those 5 numbers? The first number, okay, is the minimum. All right. And if you put the data in order, like I did here and there, I use Excel to put that in order. My minimum here is 53. The next thing I need is quartile number 1, which we already found it. That's 71. The next number I need is the median, which is the same thing as quartile number 2, and in this case is 74. The fourth number that I need is quartile number 3, and that's in this case is 79, as you can see there. Okay, 79. And the last number, the fifth number that I need is the maximum. Okay, and that is in our case 98. And basically, I use these 5 numbers to make this box. Okay, the first number, the minimum, it will be this dot that you see right there. Okay, that dot that you see there, that's for 53. That's why this dot is in between 50 and 55 and this scale here. Okay, that's the minimum. All right, the next thing you're going to use is quartile number 1, the 71. That will be the beginning of your box. Okay, that's this here, that beginning. That's quartile number 1. And usually when you do this by hand, what you do is you take this dot, the minimum. I'm going to put a line like this. And then you're going to connect this dot with quartile number 1 that is right there. Okay. I'm putting a dot so you can see. And this is what we call the whisker. That's the first whisker. So right now, I use the minimum, which is this dot down here. Then I identify quartile number 1, which is the beginning of my box. I connected that dot with the previous dot here, the minimum and quartile 1. Okay, and I made my whisker. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to skip the median. I'm going to go to the quartile number 3, 79. That will be the ending of my box. So 79 is right there. So the quartile 3 is the ending of my box. So I put this dot right there so you understand that's 79. Okay, and what I do once I have quartile 1 and quartile 2, that's when you draw the box. All right. right? And then I'm going to use the maximum, and that's this dot that you see right there. That's the maximum. And with the maximum, I usually like to draw this line like this. Here's the dot. With the maximum in quartile 3, I draw my other whisker. Okay, so that's your second whisker. So box and whiskers, you have two whiskers and the box. So the minimum in quartile 1 makes the first whisker. Quartile 3 and the maximum makes the second whisker. Quartile 1 and quartile 3 makes the box, and then I'm going to go back to the median 74, and the median is going to be inside the box, in this case here, right there. That's the median. And what happens is the median divide the box in two parts. That's why you see that line. It doesn't always divide the box in equal parts. No, it's just divided in two parts. Right now here, the upper part is bigger than the bottom part. Okay, so that's what we use the median, all right, to divide the box in two parts. And these 5 numbers is what you make this box. Now you're wondering, okay, great, that's how you do a box and whisker. What exactly this tells me? Well, here's a few things you can use the box and whisker. You can quickly identify something called outliers. What are outliers? Numbers that doesn't look like all the others. Okay, and usually when you have very long whiskers, okay, those are the outliers. So the minimum, the maximum, it seems that those whiskers are pretty long, okay, are outliers. So 53 and 98, they're not typical values or typical test scores. They're unusual. That's how we call it before. Okay, so outliers are easy to identify from the box and whisker. Another thing is the size of the box. Okay, if you have a short box, okay, it means that all the data pretty much look the same between quartile 1 and quartile 3. All right, when you have a long box, all right, it means that all the data in between quartile 1 and quartile 3, they all look different. And basically, when I have a small box, it means that, okay, 50% of the students got more or less the same score, 74, 73, 75, okay, more or less around the same score, 70s. Okay, because quartile 1 is 71 and quartile 3 is 79. If I would have had a longer box, that means that 50% of the students in between quartile 1 and quartile 3, they have very different scores. Okay, so the size of the box gives you an idea of variation, measures of variation. Okay, how much spread the data is. And that's a few ways you can use box and whiskers to make sense of the data, so you can make interpretations and make decisions at the end. I hope this helps.